Me, Chris Taylor, and I run a ministry called Don't Let Them Burn. And this is a
You
brief
ready?
summary
Yeah. All
of
right.
what I do.
This is Chris from Don't Let Them Burn. Let me tell you what it's all about. Our first goal is to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ to a lost and dying world through media. Our second goal is to expose the works of darkness, starting with entertainment, a device the devil uses to control your mind and soul. We also get into Bible prophecy, world events, the occult, UFOs, and other weird subjects. Why? Because these are the subjects that are interwoven into a lot of your entertainment. It's in your music, your video games, your reading materials, like comic books. Yeah, I love them comic book movies, right? You really want to know the truth about some of these subjects and how to protect yourself and your families? Then subscribe now and follow us on social media for all updates. We got a big year planned for y'all with some guests that'll blow your minds with their professional insights on how everything connects in the last days. Don't let them burn.
All right, so you can reach me at don'tletthemburn.com if you have any questions or if you just want to reach out.
You ready?
This is where you could reach me in other platforms. The main one is YouTube and Rumble, but I'm all over the place. So again, if you want to reach out, you can reach me on these platforms. Telegram is where I share a lot of news every day. I give resources, documentaries, sometimes books, ebooks, and check it out and you'll see what's going on there. All right, so this is Spirit Behind the Music, Seduction of the Youth, Part 2. And last time we started, most of it was scripture to show you where Lucifer came from, what was his job in heaven, how God created him. He had pretty much musical instruments in his body. He was beautiful. And most of you know the story. He got prideful, then he got kicked out, and he came to earth, and he deceived Eve, then the husband. And so, we're in the mess that we're in now, what we call the fallen world. And so we went over also how music affects you. We went over some of what's called the hip hop culture, what it really means. Rap is not hip hop is not rap. Rap is just the music. Hip hop is the culture. Okay, so stay focused on that. A lot of it's going to be on hip hop, but it's going to spread throughout other genres as you're going to see how so much of the world has taken on this genre of music and just ran with it and made their own styles and whatnot, right? And so let's start off with some scripture. So a lot of this music is very materialistic, all about money and how much you can get. There's one album called Get Rich or Die Trying by 50 Cent. And this is a very prevalent theme today. So 1 Timothy 6:10 says, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Not the root of all evil, the root of all kinds of evil. And some people, craving money, have wandered from the true faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows. So this is addressed to the church, but the world also follows this lust of the flesh, lust of the eye, pride of life. So it also tells us in 1 John 2:15 through 17, do not love this world, nor the things it offers you. For when you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. For the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. These are not from the Father, but are from this world, and this world is fading away along with everything that people crave. But anyone who does what pleases God will live forever. All right, so we're living in the last days. We used to be unsure of that, and as the days got further in, what happened over the last 3 years and all that, people started saying, yeah, and especially what's going on with Israel right now. They want to rebuild the temple, and all these things combined tells us we're in the last days. And Jesus wants us to know the season of his coming, just like he did with the Jewish people. So to go from there to 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5, perilous times and perilous men. Again, this is written to the church because a lot of these attributes in here were in the church. And this is a stark warning. But know this, that in the last days, perilous times will come, for many will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. And from such people turn away. So common sense would tell us, even outside the church, we should stay away from people like that. And the people that are creating music for you today, they have all these attributes because they're not saved. And if they are saved, whichever one that is, they should run from this industry. Not run from making music, run from the industry and the perverse things that it teaches. So we're living in a culture of death. We see it all on our TV screens. We hear it in our music, and we're going to get to this as we keep going. We're living in a culture of sex. Sex sells. It's everywhere. Again, it's on your TV. It's in your books. It's everywhere. And more prevalent than it's ever been. I'm a 70s baby, and we had our problems back then too, but I didn't dream I would see the stuff I'm seeing today. All right? A culture of depression. A lot of young people are dealing with depression and anxiety. I covered that a little bit last time because they didn't grow up like we did. And a lot of them are on the internet or playing video games, or they were sheltered in a way that I wasn't, or some of you weren't. And so they're dealing with heavy depression, and what they're doing, instead of running to their parents, they're running to the music. They're running to the culture. In secular schools, that's how we congregated. We got together, we listened to the music, whatever problems we dealt with in our little circle. And so these young people are crying out for help, but sometimes the parents aren't there to help them. Sometimes the parents don't know what to do because they weren't raised in a certain way either, right? And so we also have the degrading of women by women. The men did it enough in the 80s and specifically in rap music, 80s, 90s, and on. But then the women started to celebrate this as well. And it bled over into the culture. Some women teach their kids to do the same thing they're hearing in the music. And I wish I could show you some of the stuff that I've seen, but I can't because it's just too raunchy regarding kids. So we also have a culture of drugs. You guys know about fentanyl and every other drug under the earth. Some rappers, there's one in a group called, well, it was in a group called 3-6 Mafia. I forget her name right now. But she died mid-40s of fentanyl and some other drugs. But listen to the name of the group, 3-6 Mafia, right? And so last time we talked about the culture of Satanism is a part of it too. Now, when I say Satanism, it's a broad stroke against applied to every false teaching, every false religion. It all leads back to Satan anyway, right? And so we talked about last time what's called a temple of hip hop. So in a temple, you worship, right? And the main guy there is called KRS-One, the one on the left, came out with what's called the gospel of hip hop, which is clearly a false gospel. The gospel of hip hop first instrument, the first book from the I am hip hop. So there's a spirit there that wants to be God, right? Is the philosophical masterwork of KRS-One set in the format of the Christian Bible. This 800-plus page opus is a life guide manual for members of hip-hop culture that combines classical philosophy with faith and practical knowledge for a fascinating, in-depth exploration of hip-hop as a life path. So hip-hop is a religion. It has faith. It has something called I am hip-hop, right? And so this is born out of New York, and it has gone global. So then we have what's called the Holy Bible, the hip-hop version, right? The Holy Bible is the greatest true story ever told. It is the Word of God. Okay, that's fine. With majesty of language and clarity of thought, the Holy Bible hip-hop version is a grand accomplishment in world literature. This hip-hop version of the Holy Bible is both a literary masterpiece and instant classic. The rap music influence wording is easily accessible to current and future generations of Bible readers. From Eminem, Tupac, Kanye West, Lil Wayne, Chief Keef to Drake, Nicki Minaj, Jay-Z, and the hip-hop world has become a worldwide cultural phenomenon. The Holy Bible hip-hop version, written by Mark Charles Hardy, reaches out to the entire young generation, because usually when you see people rapping, it's usually people 15 and up, right? Sometimes it's just 18 and up, right? So they're reaching the young generation. And KRS-One, this is not KRS-One's book, but he said that their goal is to reach the young. So there's a ploy here, just like in communism, just like Marxism, and all this stuff you see going on, they're what? Trying to attack the young people, okay? And change the way they think, especially if they have a Christian faith background. So I'm going to start showing you some groups now and artists. This is called the Almighty RSO, all right? A group from Boston. They had a short career, but they think they're almighty, right? And they were real street thugs. This wasn't what we would call a studio gangster. You know, you get clever rhymes, you go into the studio, but you never shot a gun in your life. These are the real deal. And you see on his jacket there, the number 666, the mark of the beast, right? So these, I don't know if it was just one member, but it doesn't matter, the group associated with this, okay? And then went as far as putting 666 in his haircut, okay? So this is one of the first cases we saw back then in the 80s of somebody blatantly putting that out there. Now, this guy, a lot of people know, his name is Jay-Z. He calls himself Jehovah, the God MC, right? He doesn't write any lyrics down. It all comes to him. I don't know if he's possessed or not, but I know he's into a lot of witchcraft, okay? And so he promotes Freemasonry, black magic, drug dealing, and dehumanizing women, among other things. And so the video I'm going to play right now is about his producer, or one of his producers. If you ever heard of the Beastie Boys, this was one of the producers that helped them get a platinum album going back in the 80s. Rick Rubin, that's his name.
Rick ain't normal. I don't give a. I know all producers have their idiosyncrasies, meaning, you know, quirks and weird shit. But he's just strange by strange standards. While we was downstairs doing hardcore rap records, upstairs he had a bunch of people having koala leaves and doing some type of Tibetan freedom concert planning.
All right, so you saw there the polar bear with the red hat. That's a Shriner's hat. And the reason why the hat is red, that's the blood of the Christians, okay? You also saw a book of black magic, white magic. So I bring this so that everyone can understand, as crazy as it sounds, people are doing witchcraft to enhance their music. And it's not new. It happened in the jungles back in the day. They would call on these spirits to give them power to create whatever they wanted to. And so you see this in a lot of video games too, but that's whole nother study. So I'm just showing you here. In fact, Jay-Z, he did a song called Lucifer, where he said some lyrics with a Bible verse, but he never read the Bible in his life. So it kind of tells you there's some demon stuff going on there, right? And he admitted that on tape in the session, in the recording session, all right? So he also promotes, like I said, Freemasonry.
Rick ain't normal.
All right, there you go. This is just one shirt from a line they had. I'll get into this whole symbol thing in a minute, but that's Freemasonry. The snake there is called the Ouroboros. It's the snake, it usually eats its tail, and that's symbolism of the infinity of Lucifer. All right? That also goes into the phoenix and other things, right? And so Jay-Z is one of the biggest multi-platinum artists ever. And now this is his wife, Beyonce. We talked about her a little bit last time. She promotes feminism, communism, BLM, Marxist, all the same. BLM is communism, all the same, it's just different names. Dehumanizing men, talks about being possessed, promotes many forms of paganism, which we'll get into in a second. So she was a part of a group called Destiny's Child, and then that group broke up. She got with Jay-Z, they got married, and there's so much symbolism in her music, I couldn't even try, to try to show you all that tonight. So just know it's there. Now, this is a video with her telling you what's going on.
So, like when you're getting ready to go on stage and perform, does Sasha Fierce, when does she show up?
Usually when I hear the crowd, when I put on my stilettos, when, like the moment right before when you're nervous and that other thing kind of takes over for you. Then Sasha Fierce appears, and my posture and the way I speak and everything is different.
But no, is it like a process that happens too? Like you were talking about the high heels, like once the lashes go on and the makeup and all that stuff.
It's kind of like when I do a movie, becoming the character. Once you put on the wig and once you put on the clothes, you walk different. It's kind of this character that I've created over the years.
And how is Sasha Fierce different than I am?
Well, I know, definitely wearing that bodysuit, I could never walk out here and do that shit.
Does Sasha Fierce ever go home? Like,
sometimes, but I not often, only on special occasions.
She ever show up shows up sometimes at the house.
But definitely when I'm nervous or whenever I have to perform, whenever I have to do choreography or something that's difficult, and it's no different from anyone else. I feel like we all kind of have that thing that takes over when it's so.
Hi, YouTubers.
So there's another video where she talks about, I think she was sitting with Oprah as well, how the spirit comes into her. So she's not alluding to something that's not demonic. She's talking about a demon possession, okay? So, and then there's accusations that came out. In fact, let me pause there. Sasha Fierce, and you heard Oprah said, so what happened to I Am? So there's something there that calls itself the I Am. And in the concerts, like say for instance, she did a Super Bowl performance where you could literally see her get possessed. She went from a beautiful woman to looking more like a man. If you look up that Super Bowl performance and you pause, and you will see it happen right to her, right? And she had this dress on that was in the form of a pentagram. It wasn't obvious unless you really looked, but it's there. And so everybody's been talking about her possession and all this stuff for a long time. And then this accusation came up. Oops, give me a second here.
Beyonce is the top earning woman in music. She makes around $105 million, or at least she did last year. So along with all those riches, fame also brings bizarre allegations, like the lady who went to court accusing Beyonce of practicing extreme witchcraft.
Beyonce sure can cast a spell with her performances. But is she also practicing witchcraft? In head-scratching court papers, Kimberly Thompson, a former drummer for the singer's all-girl band, is accusing Beyonce of, get this, extreme witchcraft and magic spells and the murder of my pet cat. She's actually filed a restraining order against the star. Sounds kooky, right? And that's probably why a judge immediately denied Thompson's request for a restraining order. There's always been whispers that Beyonce belongs to some kind of secret society. They point to hand signals like this as an example of her communicating cryptic messages. But the accusations of witchcraft take things to a whole new, strange level.
Beyonce is the top.
So that's the accusation. I could have done a whole presentation on Beyonce, how much stuff is just all over her music and what she said, or what she says and does. Now, the accusation is, one of them is that she's a part of the Illuminati. I don't think that's what's real. I think because the Illuminati, for what they really are, it's a secret society that doesn't let people like her in. You have to be at a certain price bracket. You have to be at a certain level. It's just something people throw around all the time. Oh, they're part of the Illuminati, you know? Or you're doing Illuminati dances or whatever. So these are lower level players in the occult scheme of things, okay? So that's one of the videos that she did with, oh my goodness, can't remember the name of the group. But anyway, it's a Hindu performance, and they did what's in the dance called a festival of colors. This is where they throw around the rainbow colors to for festivities for their Hindu gods. So she took part in that, and she's had other videos. So you would think that, and I showed you last time how, you know, she was given affirmation to the goddess Astaroth from the Bible, the Queen of Heaven, or you might know her as Mary in the Catholicism. She's 1,000 different names. Okay, so you would think that this symbol right here, that's nothing. You know, it's just people making stuff up. They call it the diamond. Others associate it with the all-seeing eye. But it goes a little further than that, because this is politics right here. Right? So that's Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii. She's a senator, I believe. And that's her husband on the wedding day. So she's a Hindu. This is, again, Jay-Z doing the symbol. We've already seen he's into the occult. He actually, when it comes to a person like Aleister Crowley, he wears the Aleister Crowley shirt and says, "Do what thou wilt." I think he wore it one time in an interview and never did again because everybody started to talk about it, right? So then that's Rihanna on the left there, and Beyonce in the middle, and up on the right is a Hindu tattoo that the young girls wear, all right? In India, of course. So this is an explanation about the hand symbol. The hand triangle symbol is a commonly used gesture that has different meanings depending on the context and culture. The origin of the hand triangle symbol can be traced back to the ancient civilizations and religious practices. In Hinduism, the hand triangle symbol, also known as the dhyana mudra, is, you know, you see all this stuff, that's a mudra, is a hand gesture used during meditation. It represents balance, tranquility, and spiritual enlightenment. The three extended fingers symbolize the three aspects of existence: creator, sustainer, and destroyer. This gesture is often assumed during yoga and meditation practices to help focus the mind and connect with the divine, right? So they're telling you, without saying it plain out, that you're connecting with spirits. Yoga is Hinduism, it's just another name, and meditation is not about thinking about great things, it's about emptying your mind so these spirits can come in. That's what that is about, right? So in Buddhism, the hand triangle symbol of the Vitakra mudra is associated with teaching and intellectual discussion. It is commonly used by the Buddha and other enlightened beings, demons, to symbolize the transmission of knowledge. The thumb and index finger form a circle, symbolizing the continuous flow of energy and wisdom. The other three fingers are extended to represent the three jewels of Buddhism. And there you go. So it's not just a triangle, it's not just a diamond. It has very great spiritual connotations with the spirits that are controlling these people. This is Rihanna. She came up around the time of when Destiny's Child, Jay-Z, and them. I used to work for a really big. I worked for the largest distributor of music in the country. It's Bassin Entertainment and Alliance Entertainment. I worked there in the 90s, so I had Rihanna's CD when she was a teenager. Okay, when she wasn't dark like this, she had to come out, you know, like the girl next door. Then years later, I saw her rise again, and then she's Rihanna here doing the Umbrella song where she's trapped in a triangle which represents a male deity, okay? So later on, she starts doing more darkness, demon possession. The image on the right is from a Star Trek movie. I couldn't even tell you what the song is, but that's a few years ago. Then she started also, remember these people kind of run together? Jay-Z, Beyonce, Rihanna, okay? She started doing this stuff too. This is, I believe this is not the Hindu version, but the Chinese version of whatever goddess she's representing there. Then picture on the left, it's an upside down cross written backwards. Doing things backwards is part of Satanism. You walk backwards, you think backwards, you speak backwards, you write backwards. And it says here, control minds. So it's all about mind control. That's the triangle I was talking about there that represents a male deity. And here it is, she's licking the skull. This is after a Super Bowl. I think it's a Super Bowl. Let me see here. Yeah. Why do all the major live performances by woke artists have a demonic feeling? Sam Smith, now Rihanna, Haley Weird has gone insane. Absolutely. And in that performance, I think she was pregnant, so might have had something to do with a dedication or something. And so this is Nicki Minaj. She came up around 2014, 2015, somewhere in there, 2013. And I never listened to her music, but I've heard some glimpses of it through people's playing in the car and stuff. So she promotes dehumanizing women. When I say dehumanizing women, I mean they promote everything that women shouldn't do. And so that turns a woman into something she's not. And then they start doing the stuff that's in the music videos, sexual gyrations and all sorts of stuff. So it's perverting God's intent for women. That's why I'm saying that. So debauchery, street violence, possession, and more. So this is a video. It's nothing big, but it's still something that she admits, you know. So there was what's called a beef. Two artists, they don't get along. I think it was her and Cardi B or somebody that was, they were calling her the bad girl or something like that. So she says something, but it's the last part that's more interesting. And the Met Gala is a fashion show, and it always has demonic themes. It never misses out on that, okay? So here we go.
Ms. Minaj, darling, you looking fabulous. First of all, tell me about this look, the pressure of the Met Gala.
The look is Oscar de la Renta, so I'm very excited. And, you know, it's all about, you know, being the bad guy. So I'm dressed as the devil.
Yeah, so, and you're going to see a theme as we keep going of red dresses. Remember last time I told you about the Whore of Babylon and how Aleister Crowley had his red women? That's what it's representing, okay? Let's see here. This one is about, so she has a alter ego, and sometimes alter egos are fine, it's a gimmick, whatever. But this one was called Roman, and you could see from her performances that there was some possession going on. Now, she had an imaginary friend as a child, and you're going to see how many of these alter egos come up.
Nicki Minaj has many alter egos, so let's step into the multiverse of Minajness. First, there was Cookie, who helped a young Nicki Minaj through childhood trauma. Harajuku Barbie is the long-running persona people often confuse with the real Nicki. Nicki Lewinsky was the underground mixtape artist responsible for some of Nicki's more suggestive lyrics. The outspoken Brit, Roman Zelensky, features on multiple releases, particularly Pink Friday, Roman Reloaded. His strict and commanding mother, Martha Zelensky, keeps her son in line, most notably reprimanding him on the track Roman's Revenge. There's also Chun-Li, a bad guy whose words cut deeper than knives. Ow. Nicki the boss always thinks outside the box and is never afraid to assert himself. Queen Sleaze is the latest alter ego, the quiet but serious force behind NM5. And that's without mentioning Lapdance Nika, Nicki Teresa, Tyrone, or the female Weezy. What's your favorite alter ego?
Yeah. So, as anybody knows schizophrenia or anything associated with that, dissociative disorders is usually demon possession. Okay, so I can go on and on about her. but let's move. So this, remember what I told you about my demonic oppression with the music and Wu-Tang Clan and all that stuff? Okay, so this group is from the Wu-Tang Clan. Raekwon the Chef and Ghostface Killer, right? And this is another one of those CDs I would listen to constantly, right? But this was before the oppression came, all right? So what you'll see is a lot of godlessness. Either they'll go to Islam or something else, but then you'll see these things that come against Christian teaching, like heaven and hell and stuff like that. So this is this is a short lyric from one of the songs. It says, what do you believe in, heaven or hell? You don't believe in heaven because we're living in hell. And sort of what they're talking about there is because in the hood or the ghetto, there's so much crime and whatnot, but they're putting this message out about heaven or hell to the young. And so they'll start forming in their mind that we're living in hell. And I've seen it over and over and over again where these young kids are talking about, when I say young, I mean like teenagers and so, and up, young adults. And so there's that. So the next one is Eminem. The self-proclaimed atheist disrespects his mother on many songs, sings about killing his child's mother. He comes from a genre called acid rap, or sometimes horrorcore, but they had to bring him out through Dr. Dre's record label as, this clean, funny, sarcastic rapper. They couldn't show all the darkness, because that's another trend you're going to see too. They come out clean, and then they go dark once they have exception. It's just like when you see a TV show you like, and you're like, oh, there's no wokeness in this, there's no nudity, there's no gayness, all this stuff. And then by the third episode or the next season, boom, it's in your face, just like that, right? So this is a song called 3 a.m. This is a theme you're gonna see again, where he's in the blood, in the tub, which also represents altered states. 3 a.m. is what's called the witching hour. In fact, when I had some of my, not all, but some of my demonic oppression, it would happen at 3 a.m. Okay? Not all the time, but a lot. All right? So, images of blood. These are some of his album covers. Not all of them are shocking, but the one in the middle there is his first album, and it has a body in the trunk. The one in the blue, he's making an encore to the audience, but he's pretty much saying, I'm ready to shoot the audience. The one in the black in the middle, infinity, the infinity symbol is a symbol, just like I said before, with the Ouroboros, it's Satan's infinity. That's his infinity sign. He raps a lot about pills, drugs, and whatnot, and so he has a long career. See the album there called Recovery. So talking about addiction and all this stuff, right? And this is a platinum, multi-platinum diamond artist. So a lot of people listen to his music, including me back then, right? Now this one I won't spend too much time on. His name is 50 Cent, half a dollar. He was shot 5 times. He was in the streets. Somebody wanted to kill him, and they tried to. And so he also promotes the same violence and dehumanization of women. Satanic themes, I couldn't show or find what I'm talking about, because at the time I was selling CDs on the street, and they come with these other CDs that were like DVDs, and so he would put extra videos on there for enjoyment, but a lot of them had his eyes turning like demonic stuff throughout the filters that they would use on it. So I wanted to show that, but unfortunately, I threw all that away a long time ago, and there's none of it on YouTube. So, but it's there, okay? So the next artist here, as we move along, Snoop Dogg. When he came out with his first album, Doggy Style, under Dr. Dre's label, before that Dr. Dre had what's called a Chronic, and first when NWA came out, Dr. Dre was all about, oh, don't smoke weed, On the Chronic, it's all about weed. And so Snoop Dogg came up under that. He was, I believe, 18 years old at the time. He had a song called Murder Was the Case, where Satan had him sell his soul, right? It was a very popular video at the time. And so Murder Was the Case. So he promotes gang violence. He dehumanizes women. He owns or owned a porn company. So you will hear people like him signaling to other people, oh, we respect women. No. Satanic themes in his songs threatened a U.S. president, Donald Trump. He went from being a normal guy, I guess, to Rastafarianism, and I'll show you that in a second, then to Islam, then to supposedly a Christian, then back to Islam, okay? And so his gospel album went #1 on the Christian charts, all right? That's the Rastafarian album right there. I think he dubbed himself Snoop Lion at the time. And just because he's wearing a choir robe, he has to be holy, right? And so there it goes. Snoop Dogg scores first #1 on top gospel album chart. There right now, or a few months ago, there is a transgender person that went #1 on the gospel chart. So everything is just muddy right now, okay? This is a concert he did with so-called Christian artists. It was all about his new album, Bible of Love. And I notice he uses the Catholic Jesus as the so I think they did change the album cover. But again, these are the people behind him, Ty Tribbett and all these people they sell millions of records, okay? And they invited a known blasphemer onto their platforms. And that's the cover of the album right there, and part of the music video, because he's also into pimping, that theme and stuff. So I didn't really watch the video, but you can make up what you want from that. And here's the hypocrisy. Everyone in rap loved Trump before 2016. A lot of people, they would rap about Trump all the time. Want to be like Donald Trump, da-da-da-da-da, right? And then come 2016, this is Snoop holding a gun to the president's head. And what did Trump say? Can you imagine what the outcry would be if Snoop Dogg, failing career and all, had aimed and fired a gun at President Obama? Jail time. And he's right. And he did something recently. I didn't go and grab a screenshot of that, but he did. So this is now jumping the pond to Europe, and this is not a rapper, it's a singer. But she's influenced by the hip-hop genre. Ellie Goulding. Sounds like the girl next door, but promotes satanic themes and the fashion. Won't spend too much time on her, but there it is. There's a snake with they all see an eye on her clothing. And you could be like, oh, well, that's just one off. No, well, she got 666 all over the place, too. And that's one of her albums or singles right there in the middle. And she has a skull and bones, which is clearly satanic, and the triangle, a male deity, with the symbolism in there that forms an eye, if you could see it. The eye is vertical. Then we have somebody called Kesha. Sings about the satanic themes, promotes dying young, cannibalism, and is a part of a sex cult. At the time, around 2015, 16 and so, she was very popular, but she's kind of irrelevant now. But the point being is all these young people were just drawn to her, okay? And she didn't hide it. It's in the music videos, okay? I think that's the antigram, not the pentagram, but it's all same satanic stuff. And so one of her albums called Cannibal. The person that's not seen in that Discovery Plus is called Conjuring Kesha. So they're going to some haunted place or whatnot. And so the satanic themes are always there. The lightning bolt in the middle of her forehead was, it symbols Lucifer's fall like lightning. And then the last one is she's dressing up as a Catholic Jesus on Instagram. Then in more videos, she did the eye symbolism, and I know when you see this stuff online, you're like, this is weird, it can't be real, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it is. That's what these people practice. They always show you what they're doing, and they always bend to their master's will. That's symbolizing to the spiritual realm, I'm on board. And that's the all-seeing eye. Was the album Dancing with the Devil. Kesha, Satan is Waiting. So that's another song. And this is a concert. Remember the time we showed Ozzy Osbourne and all these people biting the heads off of bats and stuff? And they said it was kooky, it's not really real, they're just doing it for fun or whatever. this doesn't look like fun to me. Now, the next one here, I don't know her name, but she's talking about someone, and I didn't get the reference because it wasn't in the video, but she's telling you what's going on in the music industry here.
I mean, she practices, you know, a lot of people in the industry practice sacrificing, you know what I mean? Santeria, you know, you sacrifice animals and stuff, and, you know, you ask for stuff in return. I know a lot of rappers that do it.
What? You ever sacrifice something?
I've never done that, but
hey, I can't wait to get into that tax bracket.
Religion.
So, more proof. I mean, every now and then you'll have somebody talking what they shouldn't be talking, you know? And I've seen fashion models do it and others talking about writing your name in blood. Mark Dice, if you know who he is, he's a media analyst. He has a YouTube channel, but he wrote books about being in the music industry and the television entertainment industry. And when they were going to give him a deal, they wanted him to sign his name in blood. Okay? So it's a very satanic industry if you don't know where you're going. So the next one here is she's a little irrelevant now. Her career tanked after talking about eating cats and stuff. But so this is Azalea Banks. Open witch, okay? And other themes. This is one of her videos, the double horns, and the crystals in the back is more of a new age theme, and she has other symbolisms in the video, right? Now this right here, she's letting you know who she is, and she's not afraid. She actually teaches young people how to do witchcraft, what's called brujeria. You know, all of them are the same. It's just another name, another culture. In Jamaica, it was called obia, right? Cuba, Santeria. It's the same thing in South America. So you have a bunch of different names for witchcraft. So here we go.
The amount of crap that's about to come off my floor right now, guys. Oh my. 3 years worth of brujeria. Yes, you know I gotta scrape all up. I got my sandblaster, my goggles. It's about to go down. Real witches do real things.
So my question is, man, that place got a stink. That's 3 years with blood and this nastiness. You know, I mean, she talked about the cats. Now that's chicken feathers. So they're doing these rituals to get them fame. But it doesn't always bring them fame because her career tanked, right? Lies of the devil. This one, I should have a lot on it, but I didn't have time to really pull it all up. This is Billie Eilish. And she sings a lot about depression and whatnot. Remember, when these people wear the crosses on their neck and stuff, it is a disrespect to Christianity, not endorsing it, okay? But she, in an interview, talked about being unsure about life and whatnot. So imagine now, you're singing about depression. If you start looking online to see how many young people are killing themselves, even after listening to the music, you'll be shocked. Okay, not necessarily her music, but all these people, there's a ton of rappers rapping about depression, taking pills, suicide. I've seen it over and over again. That's the trend now. So you gotta watch, if you have kids in here, you gotta watch what your kids are listening to. And it doesn't matter if they're black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter, it's everywhere now. This is not 1980, you know? This is Katy Perry. She said on a video, which I don't have, but she said it, that she sold her soul for the music. She promotes lesbianism, but that could have been a signal to the homosexual community. But either way, the song was popular. I kissed a girl and I liked it, right? Sings about sex with aliens and demons, promotes paganism, promotes cannibalism. So I showed this before. This is at the Super Bowl 2015. And the one there with the Eye of Horus, also known as All Seeing Eye and other names, all of that stuff, that symbolism was in her music video. And it's not just for fun. We need to get ourselves out of the mindset, oh, they're just doing it for fun. No, these people are serious. And they want to take their kids to hell with them, you know? This is her being prepared for dinner, and not for her to eat, for them to eat her. And the smaller picture down there is her body parts, okay? And that was a music video. Here goes the red theme again. I don't know where this was taken, but that's her. Then we have what's called Lil Uzi Vert, which really means Lucifer. He split it up so he won't recognize it at first. So again, he came in, mumble rapper, and then all of a sudden it got very dark. I mean, very dark. Right? Upside down cross tattoo on the tongue. The one you see over there to the right with the thing there in the middle, it's not a cut, it's a diamond that he had. I don't know how they did it, but he put it in his forehead. Okay? That represents, again, the all-seeing eye, or the third eye is another name for it, which enlightenment and secret knowledge and all this stuff, okay? He has the Joker there on his chain in a Mickey Mouse hat. This is one of his concerts, upside down cross, and you see what he looks like. And he's not the only, there's tons of these people out there now. I went to a music site to get some music for me to record, and all I heard was music that they listen to, not the lyrics, the beats. Because most people are going to say, I love the beat, I love the beat, I love the beat, and that's what draws more people in. These people are not that talented, but the beats hypnotize people. This is called Doja Cat. She's a very popular woman right now. You see, a lot of these women, they're not ugly. They don't come at you looking like fangs and dark clothing. They come at you looking like supermodels, okay? So she promotes Satanism, possession, dehumanizing women, and cannibalism, and more. So this is one of her videos called Demons, right? Do I really need to say more? Here goes another. Popular music video, popular, going against everything that God has in his word. So why do we follow these people? There's another shot. You see there's a demon on the roof, and on the carpet you see demons. This is a scene in the video where she's taking a bath and the demon comes up behind her or whatever. And we're in the season of the witch, Halloween. This is the highest holy day for witches, okay? And they promote this right before. This is from one called Paint the Town Red, right? And she's there with the Grim Reaper, and there goes the red dress again. the whore of Babylon is the spirit of Antichrist here, yeah? And there she is chopping up meat or handling it, but it's not supposed to be beef. Okay, remember that commercial, Where's the Beef? This ain't it. Again, Paint the Town Red. I'm not sure if this is the single cover or not, but she's naked under there with a V going down, where. Okay? So, now, I'm going to get to an older artist who has passed away. His name is DMX. He claimed to be a Christian, and he would have these themes and pray at the end of his album after he shoots everybody up, and he prays at the end of the album, and promotes street violence, thuggery, and necrophilia. Right? So I used to listen to him when his first couple albums, before God got a hold of me and said, "What, are you stupid?" So this song is called Bring Your Whole Crew. I have blood on my hands and there's no remorse. I got blood on my bleep because I bleeped the corpse. That's the first song on the album, right? And this is what the album looks like. It's called Flesh of My Flesh and Blood of My Blood. There's always some Christian theme coming up, and they're not honoring God. So again, you have the bathtub with the blood. I'm not sure of the total significance of it, but either way, it's being blasphemous, right? So we talked about this next one here. Oh, by the way, I believe DMX died from a clot shot, okay? So he went out, So Biggie Smalls, a.k.a. Notorious Big, promotes crimes, drug dealing, sexual immorality, godlessness, dehumanization of women. You see the theme going here about the women? You know, it's just all over the place. It's not that they just call them the B word. I remember in the 80s, there was a rapper, I can't remember his name, that came out and rapped about kicking a pregnant woman in the stomach. So it's not new either. It was just more tame back then. People would say, no, you can't put that out. And what I spoke about last time about the more positive raps would be like, you know, be a father to your child and stop the violence. They didn't want that music out. They wanted this sort of stuff. And so this is one of his lyrics from Suicidal Thoughts. It says, when I die, I want to go to hell, because I'm a piece of, you know what, it ain't hard to tell. It don't make sense going to heaven with the goody goodies. Dressed in white, I like black Timbs and black hoodies. God'll probably make me on some real strict stuff. No sleeping all day, not doing some nasty stuff. Hanging with the goody goodies, lounging in paradise. I want to tote guns and shoot dice. That was the last song on his debut album, Ready to Die. All right? And then he did. This is his second album, recorded all the way, but he died before it came out. He got shot. And so what it's called, Life After Death. So these themes run in all sorts of rap music, dying, killing others, and just total sinful things. Now, and you think that would be bad enough, right? I think that would be bad enough. And I skipped over a lot of artists because rap has been, it's like 30 years or so now, 30, 40 years. This is Lil Nas X. Don't confuse him with a rapper called Nas. So Lil Nas X promote anything including lap dances in hell. Right? So when he first came out, he was clean looking. No one knew who he was. No one cared either until he got a hit with Billy Ray Cyrus. Hometown Road or something like that. And so no one suspected that he would start promoting all of this debauchery to kids first. Again, they're always the target. So he came out with a brand of Nikes. Nike didn't approve this. He made his own, and it had supposedly had a human blood in it, a drop of human blood. Then, of course, you have the pentagram on it, and that made him even more popular. Okay? And you thought he would stop, but one of the next videos he came out with, I can't remember the name of the song, but anyway, he is in the Garden of Eden with Lucifer, and they're doing gay stuff. It's the cleanest I can make it. Then he takes a stripper pole down to hell to do a lap dance with Satan and other things. Some of the stuff I couldn't show. So that's Satan. And he's playing these roles, right? And that's him morphing later on. And so he has a bunch of symbolism in there. And let me see if I could actually read this. Stuval says that not only does Lil Nas' usage of the quote, it's a quote from Plato, it placed him in a lineage or queer scholarship and performance, but that he also expands the trope to adhere with a 21st century notion of self-love. Self-love does not come from a good place. It is Satanism. Much of the imagery and symbolism, both inside a Montero video, that's the name of the video, Montero, and surrounding it, deals with self-reflection, and discovery. The song, an album that came out called Montero, which is Lil Nas X given name. He wrote a letter to a younger version of himself on Twitter, and the song's cover art depicts him as both God and Adam. Right? So anyway, you get the point. All right, okay, I don't have a lot to say about Drake. He promotes everything sinful. Okay? Kanye West, he called himself a god. He has a false conversion that we've seen pretty much after he released his first album, started doing stuff with Marilyn Manson and other people that are totally against God. And so he has a mental illness, and he said it himself, and also claimed to be God. Like I said before, he has a long history of just doing crazy stuff. So then we have Cardi B, which is she's not that relevant anymore, but she has a strip club mentality, degeneracy, demoralizing women, street culture, and sexual immorality. And so we're getting close to the end here. This is Lil Kim. She is one of the main female rappers. Female rappers used to be at least clean and a little wholesome. They weren't Christians, but they talked against gang violence and all this stuff. This one took it to the level of debauchery, okay? So she's one of the main ones. This is Trina from Miami. She did the same thing. Then we have the pervert R. Kelly, right? That was a manipulator to underage women, and he's gone to jail now, right? And he's not a rapper or singer, but he's part of that culture. Him and Jay-Z did albums together. He's a very intricate part of the hip-hop culture. So then we have Big L, who was murdered in 1999. This is one of his lyrics from Danger Zone. Satan said, I'm learning well. Big L's gonna burn in hell. Front and get scarred, cause your rap style ain't even hard. I run with a thieving squad, and none of them believe in God. You reap what you sow in this life. This is Big Pun, died of a heart attack from obesity. Young guy, promoted violence, sexual immorality, satanic lyrics in his underground albums. There's a lot of devil this, devil that, witchcraft and stuff. Then, of course, they had to clean him up to put him out, okay? But he came out as a hardcore rapper. Many would say he's one of the best that ever lived. So now, as we close in a little bit, this guy's called Juice WRLD. The reason why you see 999 instead of 666 is because it's inverted. It means 666. In these numerology classes, occult classes, you'll find a lot of inversion going on, right? So he died of acute oxycodone and codeine intoxication. He's what's called an emo rapper. You have emo singers, emotional, depression, and all this stuff, okay? This is one of his videos, Dark Places. It's a lot of depressing music. He holds up the 666 sign there. This is not the OK symbol. This means 666. This is called XXX Tentacion. He's a Jamaican. He's from Jamaica, but or his family is. Grew up in Miami. Was murdered, multiple gunshot wounds to the head and neck. And another emo rapper. I didn't listen to these guys. These guys are newer, more mumble. I can't listen to that anyway. So he has a song called I Spoke with the Devil in Miami. He said everything would be fine. No, it's not. Now he's dead. And this is some of the imagery. It's like he's fused with the Star Wars character. Can't remember the name of the red guy with the big horns. So this is one of his lyrics. I spoke with the devil in Miami. It'll all be over soon, and I'm always where the sun don't shine, the tears don't show. Won't hurt me now because heart's been broke. I hate myself, but it won't show. I constantly lose all my remorse, and it's 10 for the wolf and 3 for the shepherd, and it's 1 for the sheep and led by our leopard. By your leopard, and on it goes. Depressing lyrics. And so he keeps talking about the anima vestra, that's Latin for your soul. So his song is talking about the Baphomet. It's in the song there, as you see. Heartless is reckless. It's word of a pacifist to word of a masochist. I'm off the map, my lord. I spoke to Baphomet. He said he would save me if I give him one thing he needed. What is that thing? I pleaded, boy. It's the key to even, and he goes on. But it's about selling the soul, right? This is him again. I put the Anton LaVey symbol there, his hand gesture, so you know it's not made up. The Satanists put this hand symbol up there to show you who they belong to. So this is a video before he died. If worse things come to worse, this is not a song, this is actual his words. If worse thing comes to worse, and if die or something, and I'm not able to see out my dreams, I at least want to know that the kids perceived my message and were able to make something of themselves and able to take my message and use it and turn it into something positive and to at least have a good life. If I'm going to die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy, or they found some sort of answers or resolve in my life, regardless of the negative around my name, regardless of the bad things people say to me. Shortly after, he was killed, gunned down. This is him wearing Team Satan, 666 on his hat. He died on 6/18/18. In Kabbalistic numerology, the number 18 is translated to 666, which would make the date of death 6. You know, you see the numbers there. 6. You know, so yeah, sad. And more and more as we wrap up in 2 seconds, you're gonna see how many of these rappers are just flying to hell. This is a pic of his memorial, and you see all the saint candles out there. So I guess a lot of Catholics gathered around to burn the candles or whatnot. So in 2020, guess how many rappers died from violent gunshots, or a little bit died from other things? 200. 2020. Guess how many died in 2021? 250. Most of them gun violence. And this year, not as much yet, but it's climbing, 110. 110. And so this is what's flooding the ears of the youth. Again, whether you're on the internet or in this room, watch what your kids are listening to, because it's not getting better. And the devil definitely wants to take young people to hell. We talked about the songs of fools before. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of pleasure. It is better to heed a wise man's rebuke than listen to the songs of fools. We talked about the heart before. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? And what does the world teach? Love yourself, follow your heart. These are all satanic messages. And we go over this again. What does hip-hop and the rest of the genres produce? Loving yourself, murdering enemies, abusing women, irresponsibility, pornography, materialism, paganism, disrespect for parents, idolatry, demoralization, premarital sex, the pride of bragging, communism, revenge, worship of money, immorality, Satanism, blasphemy, dehumanization, rebellion. And what we read at the top from Timothy talks about this, right? We talked about the acts of the flesh. The acts of the flesh are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity, debauchery, idolatry and witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, self-ambition, dissensions, factions, and envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the like. I warn you, as I did before, that those who live like this will not inherit the kingdom of God. We ended on idolatry. It's all about what you're giving your affections to, period. What are you giving your affections to? Is it the game? Is it the music? What is it? We need to clear some of these things out of our life. No one's saying you can't listen to a song or watch a TV show or whatnot. This is not legalism, but be careful. And for those that don't know, you must be born again. As you see how many of these people are flying into the gates of hell, and hell is expanding itself every day for more people. We're sinners in need of a Savior, and that's why I'm up here. I got saved. Actually, I misspoke last time. I got saved in 1988, but I was backslidden off and on, And God got a hold of me in 2004, then in 2006, he cleared all of this music stuff out of my life and never went back. I was done. The taste was gone. My ears didn't want to hear it, none of that stuff. So if you're here tonight and you're not saved, just remember that Jesus loves you. He died on the cross for you and rose on the third day and was born of a virgin birth. And there it goes, the gospel. And if you need anybody to pray for you, a bunch of deacons here, let's pray. In your name, Jesus, we just thank you for this presentation. Thank you for all the hearts that are reached. You did a wonderful work last time. Very surprising what the outcome was. And we just thank you for that. And we thank you for everything coming next, Lord God. We look forward to your coming and your blessings. And please give us power and might to do the things that we need to do for you, Lord God, as we go through this week and beyond, Lord. In your name, Jesus, we pray.